And we're always smoking bombs like it's 420. We get high as though it hot and talk wrestling stuff. And it's hosted by Jim Vicious, Tyler Fudge.
What this information makes the world go round. What this information makes the world go round. It may maintain so a motherfucking trigger what you hate, come on. Motherfucking trigger what you hate, come on. I'm pointing your finger. You really needed me and made me a stranger.
Welcome, thank you for downloading episode 166 of Suplex City Limits for June 16th, 2018. You can find me where the weed at. It's your boy, the King of Bong Style, Jim Vicious, and he would still make a better champion than David Arquette, my co-host.
Not as funny, but infinitely more sexy, Tyler Fudge. Courtney Cox, I'm waiting for you.
Far more funny than David Arquette, fuck.
Well, I don't get paid for it. Okay, maybe I'm funnier, but not as sexy. Courtney Cox, I'm coming for you.
It is. Suplex City Limits, available for listening wherever fine podcasts are found. You can follow me on the show Twitter at Suplex City Limit, where we just broke 30,000 followers. Thank you very much for that. Or you can follow Tyler at The Federation. If you like the show, consider supporting it by picking up a t-shirt at Pro Wrestling Tees. Got 4 designs available, sizes small to 5XL, shipping intergalactically. Or you can become a donor on our Patreon as little as $1 a month for the Brooklyn Brawler tier, or for just a little bit more, become a producer and help bring the show to the masses, and get yourself a shout out like our friends the Mizcast, Caleb Morganfield, Casey, B-Rad, Infamous Chris Savage, Kick-Ass Keith Martin, the Maniac Michael Thomas, the Rice-A-Roni Jabroni Ty Loney, Insane Ian Jackson, Jumpin' Jeremy Foltz, and our friends at Wrestling Soup. Much love to Miss Joey and Draper. This week on the Pot Smokin'est Wrestling Pod on the internet, the podcast of the Immortals, we're going to be previewing Money in the Bank. We got TakeOver. We're recapping Lucha Underground season debut. And I think it's going to be an interesting conversation. Probably. All that, plus we've got Jared's Hot Takes, Bitchin' with Burbs, the SCL Top 3. Got a lot of shit going on. So let's get into it with this week's news.
This week in the news, Arquette returning to the ring, Punk took a beating, and Tyler was in love. Over to you, Jim.
I'm Jim Vicious, and this is news to you. Tyler was in love. What is this?
Oh, I just felt vindicated. I was happy to see CM Punk get his ass kicked. That's the love I felt. I fell in love with Mike Jackson that night, even though everybody else thought that he was an asshole. I thought that he did the right thing. He took a guy that doesn't belong in the ring and gave him the least amount of effort that he deserved to beat his ass, and then got blackballed from the UFC for it. I love the guy.
I think I like the original Michael Jackson better, and he fucking diddled kids.
He was better with kids, I know that.
This guy, he made a mockery of the fucking fighting. I mean, if he really wanted to do something, he should have fucking toyed with him until the third round and then just fucking put him in the ground, you know?
When he had him on the ground and started doing ground and pound and was looking in the distance, I thought that was the funniest fucking thing in the world. It's like, this guy didn't even look at you and punched you in the face, and you had to go get a CT scan done. He didn't even look at you.
CM Punk show you any heart? To me, he showed a lot of heart.
He did. I agree. I wouldn't take that beating. You know what I mean? I would have.
I would for whatever he got paid. I mean,
yeah, but you still get paid the exact same amount whether you lasted 1 round or 3.
You know what are you gonna do? Fake a knockout?
Oh, dude, no. I'd just be like, dude, I'm done.
Oh, no way. He couldn't have done that.
Well,
if he'd have done that, I mean, holy shit. People shit on him already.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't have that heart. That's what I would do.
I like the guy, and Yeah, it sucks, but I didn't ever said it, man. People shitting on him fucking for 4 years, hating him because he quit working, at a place that we all know sucks to work at anyway.
I agree with you there completely, but there was, throughout that time there, he had stopped. At one point in time, he stopped talking to Colt Cabana because he went and visited the WWE backstage. He threw away everybody, as we got an example with Corey Graves this week, that if you work for WWE, you're no longer his friend. Jim?
Do you want to be friends with Corey Graves any fucking way?
If you're friends with him before the WWE, and he
That's
goes
on
to
you,
work. Exactly. And so if you've made that friendship and he comes to work and you're going to dismiss him solely for where he works, I'm sorry.
But dude, listen, this company
we've all known CM Punk's a piece of shit. We've all known that for years. He's never hidden it.
This company has done everything to fuck you. Everything they can. They're suing you.
Corey Graves didn't.
Well, no, I know, but I can see not wanting to associate with people in that company. I mean, I don't think that's that out of line.
I don't know. To me, it's if you were a friend with it, that should come before anything else. The company shouldn't have anything to do with it, in my opinion. That's my take on it.
Corey Graves wants to talk about fucking being punk rock. He's sitting in like teal velvet fucking suits with Bob's Big Boys fucking hair on. Fuck out of here, bitch.
I bet he was so fucking drunk on Saturday.
Yeah,
just hammed. But either way, both Corey Graves and CM Punk sound like pieces of shit, if you ask me.
Yeah, speaking of UFC, Dana White interfered in a pro wrestling match.
What? Where?
Yeah.
When?
I don't know. In Memphis?
Really?
Yeah. Pretty crazy. Him and Matt Serra was also there. Wrestling.
Is Matt Serra one of the guys that have been teasing becoming a wrestler?
Oh, I don't know.
No?
Matt Serra's fucking old. He's retired. He's been retired from fighting forever.
Is he really plain looking? With like short brown hair? Just plain as fuck?
Nah.
Fair enough.
He's from fucking Brooklyn. His big thing was, who the fuck did he beat? He beat GSP like on a complete fluke one time.
Matt
like his whole
Sierra?
No, Sarah. Serra.
Okay, yeah.
We had Derek King and Matt Serra pick up the win. And I guess, White was involved in this. Jerry Lawler was involved with this. It was like, it was outdoors in Memphis. I just thought that was weird. Like,
Matt
fucking Dana White
is who I was thinking of.
Oh, yeah, Matt Hughes.
The plain-ass looking motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a plain-looking fucking... He's a simpleton motherfucker, but he knows how to suplex. God gave me the ability to suplex. He suplexes people. Yeah, he suplexes for God. So, the court records came out on this Dr. Aman guy.
Yes, he's
turns out he is really an unethical piece of shit. Fucking patients and shit.
I mean, yeah, especially Jillian Hall of all patients.
Yeah. And some other indie worker too after she had a tryout.
Yeah, gotta love it, man. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I was him, I would have probably tried to do more damage than that. So I'd be walking around like Fat Batista is what I'd be walking around like. That's what they would be calling me, Fat Batista. Because I'm just trying to fuck everything, getting shot down all the time.
I'd look for the ones that have opioid addictions, and then I would fucking bang them for scripts.
Daddy issues. My first stop would be Tamina Snuka. Hey, baby. What's up, brother?
Brother.
What's up, brother? Bend over. I'll check your ass.
Hey, but oh man. Yeah. That's kind of shit that would get somebody, ran off in the world, right? Talk about fucking finding girls to give them scripts for sex. You used to be able to do stuff like that back in the day.
It was a much simpler time.
Not anymore, dude. I feel bad. I feel bad for like some of my friends who have made the decision to have children, or our listeners. If you have a young son, like who's coming up, I feel bad for him because he's not going to be able to like he's not going to be able to do any of the fun shit that we did.
I agree.
Like fucking girls for drugs and shit.
Roofies.
No, not roofies, dude. Put them in the pudding back. No, we're not fucking roofies.
Oh, fucking hell. But we learn from the best.
But like now it's like against the rules to even like try and fuck it like a chick, you know?
No, I
Like,
don't
on
live
Twitter
by
and be
those
like,
rules. I will go
Well, I know,
down
they'll go on
in
Twitter and
fiery
be like-
flames.
he tried to fuck me. Like, and
Yeah.
if your grandfather had tried to fuck your grandmother, you wouldn't fucking be here, buddy.
No, exactly. We're all products of by fucking. That's just how it works.
You're here probably because of some shady methods used to get laid.
Yeah. Do you really think your father wanted to fuck your mother? Look at her.
Yeah.
She forced it on him.
Jesus. Making it dark.
Yeah.
Speaking, here's a little more of your fake Twitter SJW shit. Rich Swann was booked on an event called All Violence is Legal. Okay. They have now had to change the name due to fan backlash. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
It's funny because this is reported by Ryan Satin, who I imagine spearheaded said fucking fan backlash.
He is the leader of the SJW. Him and David Bixenspan.
David fucking Spick and Span. I can fucking blow me, dude.
Oh,
Somebody
man.
asked me about him, and they tagged him in there, and I was like, I would kind of like call him a twat and shit. I'm like, certainly, I'll be able to draw out Spick and Span, but it didn't work. He didn't even respond.
Oh, man, I had 2 conversations this week on Twitter that ended up in little arguments. It was that one with the New Japan women and the fucking... What was the other one? Oh, yeah, the wording. Me being Professor Tyler Fudge.
Oh, right. I don't know what your deal with that guy was. Anyway, this one,
Okay,
we'll circle back. We'll circle back.
We'll circle back because I can explain myself in words better than typing.
Yeah. But that's the thing. So Ryan Satin, he'll go out and he's basically manufactures stories for himself. Same with fucking Spick and Span, where, you know what I'm saying? Like, this backlash was because of you, probably. You probably were like, oh, this I didn't like that. There's these people out there who still hate on Swan. Somebody you used to work with, by the way, who got in a little argument with me this week. You probably blocked
Somebody
me.
who I used to work with?
Yeah. Well, I used to do some podcasting shit with him.
Oh, I'm sure you're talking about Heroes Wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did he have to say?
I was just really defensive about Rich Swann. You
Fair
know,
enough.
like, oh, he's an abuser and this and that. It's like, he's not. He wasn't found guilty of shit. Even witnesses, no one was like, oh, yeah, he beat the shit out of his girlfriend. He restrained her.
Yeah.
And if you haven't had to restrain a woman before, I question how many women you've dated. You know what I'm saying? You got to fucking grab a bitch sometimes and put her in the car and fucking take her home for her own safety.
Hey, man, you know what? They would do it to us if we weren't bigger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If
I
you
don't
walk
know.
down the street and you're going to punch a dude in the face, I bet
Yeah.
if she could, she would pick you up and put you in the car. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's now called fucking. And then, yeah, Sue Young went on Twitter and said, Swan doesn't beat me. Stop harassing him. No shit.
Now, the only thing is, I take everything with a grain of salt that comes out of Sue Young's mouth because she's batshit crazy. So, I mean, but yes, I agree. Now, this, you know how I would have solved this problem to begin with? I would have seen Rich Swann coming for the show. I would have been like, we're not going to call this All Violence is Legal. We'll call this something else before we even announce. You know what I mean? I just wouldn't have even went that way just to avoid that backlash altogether so you don't look like the pussy that had to rescind it.
How about this? How about PCW? Smack your bitch up. Smack your bitch up 18.
Wasn't that like a ECW or CZW or XPW show?
I don't know. I was thinking it was a Prodigy song, but yeah, could be XPW. I wouldn't be surprised.
Speaking of wrestling names, a Las Vegas-based company had bought the trademark and similar look of Halloween Havoc for wrestling shows.
Doesn't WWE actually have the rights to that? I mean, people always said like they didn't,
they
but
run
I
out.
think they
Rights
do.
run out. They had to rebuy the rights of Starrcade. They had to rebuy the rights of Great American Bash. All that stuff. Only trademarks last for so long.
And they didn't get them again?
They didn't get Halloween Havoc, no. This company in Las Vegas called KBN Inc. Have Halloween.
Okay. You can add that to your portfolio. Speaking of Rich Swann, though, just to go back to that, what the fuck did he do to his hair? Do you see that shit?
I don't know, man. Like I said, Stu Young is batshit crazy. Stress.
He looks like fucking Dave Chappelle as Gallagher, you know?
Him and Baron Corbin switched hairstyles.
Yeah, well, Jared pointed that out, and I was like, fuck, you nailed it on that one, dude. Okay, so, yeah, back to the women in New Japan thing.
Yes.
Isn't news, but it is a topic that I wanted to talk about.
It's a stupid topic, if you ask me.
Again, spick and span this time. Yeah. Tries to manufacture fucking backlash so he can write a story about, Dave Meltzer, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, so I can go on Deadspin. This is what I think of David Bixenspan, okay? This is what I think of him. He is in the Cool Kids MMA group on Facebook, okay?
Yeah.
I posted a link to our show one time. You know what that cocksucker did?
He posted his shit in the comments.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
And that is the kind of guy we're talking about. David Bixenspan is also a white twat from Middle America, I think. Doesn't matter where he's from. Who's trying to tell a company over in East Asia how they should run in their culture, not in his.
Yeah.
To me, is like, you don't live in Japan, so therefore you don't get a say in this at all. If the Japanese women who go to these fucking shows want to bitch about it, go for it. But the women are not who go to the women's shows. Joshi Wrestling has their own take, and it's purely men that go to these fucking shows. Next thing, we'll be getting those Asian sex wrestlers. They'll have to be in New Japan too. You know, it just
that's
doesn't make
just it,
sense.
right? Yeah. At what point do you have to fucking book everything, right? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
No.
If you don't have any background, I guess if you're fresh to this, some fan asked Dave Meltzer why there's no women in New Japan, and he said something to the effect that, like, they don't have women come out and play
The off quarters.
in between the off quarters of basketball, which is a fair thing. It's like, can we have a company that doesn't have shitty women's wrestling? Would that be okay?
Well, look at CMLL. CMLL was forced to have women's wrestling, and they do absolutely nothing with it, so you're better off not having it than having it.
Forced to by what?
By backlash by people. People wanted CMLL to book women, so they didn't want to. They had no interest in it, so then they started booking women, and it's garbage. Yeah. And they've basically given no heed to it. They don't care about it. That's exactly what would happen in New Japan. They would get the treatment of fucking the crowning jewel, fucking Chase Owens. You know, they would never be above that, because look what they have to follow. They have to follow Tetsuya Naito, Okada, Suzuki, Ishii, Omega, Ibushi, all these fucking guys. There's a handful of women in this world that can work their rate. A handful. I'm not being sexist. It's just the way your bodies are made. You know, it's just, you can't take these severe shots to the face, into the neck, into the body. It's just, your brain can't handle it. And it's
just one of those things. It's like, they have their own federations over there.
Yeah, they've got
like Spick and Span.
All of them.
Is he fucking buying all the Shimmer DVDs? He better fucking be.
And then look at it, New Japan, All Japan. Do they have women? No. Does Dragon Gate have women? No. Does Noah have women? No. It's because it's not a fucking thing in Japan. That's just how it works.
All Japan doesn't have women?
I don't think so. Not now. They All Japan had their women's promotion. It was All Japan women. They were never on the same show as the men, as far as I know.
Right. But yeah, for him, and it wasn't like, I'd like to see it. That would have been no problem for me if he'd have been like, yeah, that'd be, I'd like to see them do it. Fine.
Yeah.
But he was like, there's no excuse this day and age for, what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
Right. Like,
bro.
If you listen to how, who was it? I think it was Rocky Romero was talking about how New Japan really had to get out of their comfort zone to even come to the States, because they've never done it before. People over in this side of the world don't understand the culture, in the Japanese culture, where it's, you don't step out of your comfort zone. If you're doing something, you just continue doing that. And do you really think that if there was money to be made, I'm sure they would have done it by now. But there isn't. Look at what these shows do for the women over in Japan. They don't really draw that big of a crowd.
I would say this though, I would be all for New Japan featuring a big Stardom match, like randomly
for sure.
Like just like a couple shows a year maybe, or even on Wrestle Kingdom have maybe not on there. They would never do it on there, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Have just a big fucking match from Stardom on the show.
I agree.
Give them 20 minutes, and because their matches are great, you know.
Yeah, well, some of them. It's still one of those things where you look at Stardom, and let's say they have 20 women. I would go with a quarter, maybe over a quarter of them are the people you want to see. The rest of them are just meh. So it's not even like it's much different than the American style.
Liberty lost Sane and fucking Shirai, so
yeah. And then there's who else is going to the Mae Young Classic?
I thought Io Shirai.
Well, yeah, no, there's another Japanese wrestler going to the Mae Young Classic. Yeah.
You don't need to look farther than like Ring of Honor. It's like when they added women's wrestling, I was like, remember we buried it on here. Why the fuck? And it is just a waste of time. It's another thing for me to fucking fast forward. Well, dude, no. They had that one girl from Japan she's a badass.
Yeah. Oh, Miko Satomura. She's who's going to the Mae Young Classic. The best women's wrestler in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. But yeah, I don't know. What else we got? Vicky Guerrero wants WWE to name a tournament after Eddie Guerrero. It'd be
what tournament? What is it? The Latino World Order tournament? Like, what are we going to have? A Mexican fucking tournament and name it for Eddie Guerrero? I don't get it.
That's a tournament where just as it starts getting really fucking good, it ends abruptly.
Oh man, I like that. Thank you. That made me pop. But yeah, no, I mean, at what point in time do we have to not service everybody that has a request? You know what I mean? It's like, if I had my way, we would name a hardcore tournament after Sick Nick Mondo. And the winner would win a crown of thorns and he would ascend to heaven.
Well, there you go.
But other than that, you see how ridiculous that sounds? That's how you all sound.
I don't know. Let's get some other news stories.
I've got so many news stories, dude. Let's see here. Mauro Ranallo is going to miss TakeOver. Victor Joseph will take his place.
Such a fucking bummer.
It is due to a Showtime commitment. I'm not a fan of boxing, so I'm not going to pretend I care.
Just a bummer, though, dude.
It is.
Like that card, dude, Ciampa Gargano, that needed Morrow. That's
I agree, man.
God damn, it sucks. Anyway,
I agree. ROH has also announced that they're going to MSG in 2019.
How crazy is that?
It is crazy. And then I seen a crazier tweet, and it was somebody saying what WWE might do to combat it, and that's buy every ticket and send one person there.
Dude.
Buy every ticket, send one person to eat popcorn loudly and look at his phone. I thought that was the funniest tweet I'd ever seen in my life.
They're trying to block it, though.
Are they?
Yeah.
In what way? By just saying MSG don't do this?
Well, right. I mean, then they're talking about, like, are they going to try to sign some of their guys away and all this shit? I don't know, man. It could be really interesting because it's WrestleMania weekend. They want to do this.
Yes, which to me, you're obviously pigeonholed to doing it the night of TakeOver, basically. And to me, that doesn't seem like a good idea to run MSG while they're WWE are running Barclays with 12,000 people.
You can't do it on that Friday?
I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could. Would do it. But the other thing you got to look at, too, is do the Rangers have a game? Do the Knicks have a game?
Yeah, according to sources, WWE is reportedly doing everything possible to block it. What a bunch of cunts.
It is a cunty move, but...
You're not going to run the fucking place.
No, not even for the Hall of Fame. Nothing. They're not doing nothing for it.
What do you think, though, about Ring of Honor and going there like 10,000 tickets? Is that what it is?
What, for MSG?
11,000? Yeah, I've
For
heard.
MSG,
Yeah.
I'm sure you can get more than 11,000 there. I think for hockey you can get something like 16,000. You're not going to cut down 5,000 seats for the stands for ROH setup. You know what I mean? There's just a fucking brick, like a what do you call them? Those pillars with one screen. It's like, you may have lost 100 seats. But I would imagine if ROH goes to MSG, their only goal is to fill the outer bowl or the inner bowl, the lower bowl.
Then why go?
I don't know. It's just, I think it's more of a status quo thing. Like, we ran MSG. The fact that they're running MSG will probably put more eyes onto it.
18,500 is the capacity for pro wrestling.
There you go. So there's no way to fill it. It's not possible unless they did it in like $5 tickets.
What match would make that show?
Kenny
what
Okada.
match?
That's the only way they do it. Kenny and Okada. That's the only way. It's not possible. I don't. There's, in my opinion, there's nothing ROH can do as a company all by themselves to fill that. The only way they can do that is if they did a New Japan and ROH Super Show and bookended it with Kenny Okada 5.
What about CM Punk?
I feel like we're only a couple years away before that name has no levity in wrestling whatsoever. He's already been gone long enough now that I don't know who can they put him against to make, because to me the only way that they can fill that place up is if they tell a big story and a good story, and you're not going to tell a good story with CM Punk, I don't feel, because he's probably just going to be an in and out guy if he does anything. And I mean, he's all but said he's never going to do it. You know what I mean? I doubt he would return.
What about Daniel Bryan?
I would, as long as he's allowed to wrestle, I expect him to stay with WWE. But Daniel Bryan could probably, so
Bryan,
Kenny and Okada all by themselves, I feel, would do a good job filling that up. But if you had Bryan, Punk, and a couple other guys peppered around that show, you might be able to do it. But then at what point in time is that no longer an ROH show? Even though Punk and Bryan were from ROH, but
within Ring of Honor, who do they? I mean, their biggest star is Cody, right?
Yes, by easily.
Far. Who's
Cody's
number two?
A bigger star than most people in WWE. Number two, I would say,
the Bucks,
probably,
I guess.
Yeah, it's easily the Young Bucks, easily.
Yeah.
And number
it's all the Bullet Club
maybe
guys.
Dalton Castle. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Right.
I'd say Marty.
You're right, Marty. I totally forgot about Marty. And then Hangman Page as well. I would say, Bullet Club are number one.
And then behind them is what, Lethal? Maybe, probably Lethal.
Yeah, for longevity, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
So they don't themselves. I don't know, but I mean, there's a lot of people in town. It's Friday night. It's MSG. You know, if you do it on a Friday, anyway.
Yeah, it's possible. There's a lot of people in town. There's more people in town for that weekend than goes to WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Like, you can get, 60,000 people probably in that stadium that they're going to run, maybe 70. I bet you there's 150, 200,000 people that go there. No.
There's still talk about a AAA show coming to MSG
That's
as
not
well.
gonna happen. Come on, Jim. You know that's not going. They've said that they're going to come to the States almost every year for like the last 10 years, and they just don't come. There's no way AAA sells out the Madison Square Garden. There's no way they fill the inner bowl, the lower bowl. Nothing. I feel like they will lose colossus amount of money.
You'd have to figure. I don't know, man. How many Spanish-speaking, people who follow Mexican wrestling? There's probably a lot of people who watch AAA in a big city like that.
It's possible.
It's on TV there. It's on TV on the fucking, the Spanish stations.
I'm sure. Yeah, is Luciano on TV there too?
Well, that probably not. It's not on TV here.
If they were on TV there, they wouldn't fill it up. You know what I mean? But like, I feel maybe if AAA went in and they brought in CMLL, they did it a full, Mexican Super Show. You know what I mean? Because they are starting to work together a little bit. So like, if you had Triple H, CMLL, and the Crash or something, that I think could really bring a lot of eyes.
That'd be cool.
I know. To me, I think I'm just jaded watching AAA. I don't like AAA. I think AAA is garbage. It's some of the worst wrestling in the world. It's some of the worst wrestlers in the world. Like Psycho
Holy
Clown?
shit.
Fuck that guy. Jeff Jarrett's your champion? Fuck that.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? I just don't like when I go and the seldom times I watch AAA, the main event always leaves me baffled as to why the fuck was this the main event? Like, these
Psycho
two
Clown
guys
is
can't
fucking
move.
shit. He's awful.
Yeah.
But this is also the place that brought you, LA to Dead Phantasma.
Of course. I would rather watch CMLL for wrestling, to be completely honest. I'm a bigger fan of CMLL. But
Yeah, fair.
Roosh.
Yeah.
Love Roosh. I would
That was
cuddle
good, though.
Roosh and twirl his hair at night.
Wow.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, David Arquette hit the ring. Was this at Bar Wrestling?
No, this is at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, he's set to wrestle the Human Tornado
Yes.
at the Gathering of the Juggalos, July 18th.
I mean, good on him. Why does he get so much hate? I know why, but why?
Oh, because he was the champion of
Why?
WCW.
But why? Why do people hate him for that?
I don't know.
'Cause-
I mean, all of your beef, any beef you have about that should be placed squarely on, Bischoff or Russo or whoever the fuck came up with it.
Fucking rights.
Because if you
First
told
off-
me, hey, we're going to make you the WCW champion, I'm going to be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
know?
The Mark and me would just come out and be like, okay, I'm bringing that title to the airport. I'm going to do it.
I don't even care.
No. And then you look at it too, man. We give David Arquette all this shit, but every cent that he made during that run was given to the families of Owen Hart and Brian Pillman. Every cent. Every solitary cent. Why are people giving him so much slack? Now, this video of him wrestling is horrible. He's garbage, even though he's been training. But, I mean, at least he's coming back and is like, I'm going to do some matches just to take this fucking levity off my name in wrestling and just make it so I'm not WCW champion. It's just a shitty celebrity athlete.
Yeah. I mean, try to make it right. But yeah, he's a big fan. It's not his fault.
No.
It's not his job to worry about WCW's best interest. That was fucking,
Apparently, the story is that when they first brought it up, he said, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And they forced it on him. So, I mean, it's even more pen for your fucking, or ink for your pen.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, man. James Ellsworth pulling out of events. I think an event in China.
Yeah.
Dude, how ridiculous is that James Ellsworth is wrestling in China? What the fuck?
Dude.
Anyway.
You go to WWE, man. Look at, have you ever seen Cliff Compton? He went to WWE for a fucking second as Domino and wrestled as Super Domino over in Nigeria.
Against Udi?
Against the great power Udi.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
Like the dumbest shit ever, like in an empty fucking parking lot. I don't know. Fucking weird. Where does he get involved in Money in the Bank?
Either one of the two, I would say more than likely, he helps Carmella retain the title.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the best chance. But can you imagine if this became a Pete Rose segment where he would come in and try to take the women's Money in the Bank thing every year and get thwarted? You know what I mean? Just eat 10 finishers. You know what I mean? It'd be great. It'd be fun no matter which way you do it, unless you had him grab the Money in the Bank briefcase and run away. You know what I mean? You don't want to taint every women's Money in the Bank match. But if he comes down and doesn't even get into the ring, I'm all for it.
Oh, God. Yeah, let's not forget, right? They have a man win. There's backlash. Look, we'll do another one. And then they just have Carmella win.
Yeah.
Really fucking stupid. Yeah, this card's going to be the shits. Rosa Mendez. I'm just going to read the title of this one. Rosa Mendez wants to dominate indie wrestling, then return to WWE for a Hall of Fame worthy run.
Man. Everybody can dream. But there's a difference in scratching your ass and tearing it to pieces. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's like the stupidest thing I've seen all week in wrestling. Unbelievable.
I'm trying to think if I can top you, and I don't think I can.
this fucking no talent bitch. Yeah, no. Just awful. But I don't know. That's about all the news I think I got.
Well, we can blow through the rest of them I got here, okay? AJ Styles on the cover of 2K19. Jericho says yes. Jericho says that he's not wrestling for New Japan in the States because he's too loyal to Vince, and he wants more than $100,000 to do it. UFC 225, aka Punk's fight, got around 80,000 buys. That's pretty bad. And there's a new Heart Foundation, MLW, I think. Teddy Hart and David Boy Smith and Brian Pillman Jr.
All three of them?
Yeah.
What?
So that could be a thing.
That's cool.
It is cool.
I like that.
I do too. I would like to see that more. Hopefully it becomes a thing. And then we've got a new equivalent to what Flow Slam was. And the Flow Slam was that elusive wrestling streaming service that was ungodly expensive and was just had nothing to offer. Instead, now we've got Powerbomb.tv, which is powered by PivotShare. It's $5.99 a month, and it has over 80 promotions. So,
yeah. Well, there's a coupon code, right?
What's that?
Is there a coupon code?
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, I thought you had a federation with.
Oh no, that's for Backbreaker Media, which is it's just that's the Alberta indie wrestling one that they use PivotShare to do it, but they'll be on Powerbomb.tv, but that's just the Backbreaker Media code, not for Powerbomb.tv.
Gotcha. There's like 75 promotions, and I was like, what the fuck, dude?
But like, if you think about it, man, you get everything. There's not a show you'll miss for $5.99 a month. You get ICW, you get just so many of these fucking Defy, right? Not Defiant Wrestling from the UK, Defy, which is actually pretty good. You can get all that on there, and for $5.99, if you like your indie wrestling, I know somebody that'll be getting it for sure. You know who that is? I bet you.
B-Rad?
Yes. That's exactly who.
Yeah.
So B-Rad. So B-Rad, you take that magnificent beard and all your colorful, funny shirts. And you watch that and you pay for that. You tell me if it's worth it. Thank you. Thank you, B-Rad.
Yeah. Dude, he's like fucking, he's the indie wrestling, he's like my indie wrestling expert, man. If I have anything with the indies, I'm like, dude, what's going on? Because he knows his shit.
He does. He
knows of dudes that, they must be great. He says they're great. Like, I've never even heard of these dudes. And he's like, this guy's magnificent. I'm like, I don't even know who that dude is. Yeah. No, I hear all kinds of names from him, man. It's like, man. Yeah, he's got the lock on that shit.
He does.
So, yeah. Let's move on from this to the top three.
Okay. Sorry, I wasn't ready for that.
I'm probably out of order because I'm sitting here searching for my the order that we're supposed to be going in, and I'm just like, I don't know what it is. We
were going to do Jared's Hot Takes is what we were going to do.
Oh, let's do that then. Fuck.
You fucking guy.
Jared's Hot Takes while I try to find my fucking schedule.
Jared's Hot Takes.
When you are good, people will line up around the block to tell you you are great. When you are great, people will line up around the block to tell you you are an all-timer. But when you're the best ever, there's a line of people around the block willing to tell you you're not the best. They'll take you down with every flaw you have. That's the truth. And this week's Jared's Hot Takes, I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm not saying I'm the greatest of all time. Hot take, I'm not. Here's my hot take. Only one this week. By the way, this week's Jared's Hot Takes is brought to you by Soylent Green. Soylent Green is for the people. It's not just people. It's for the people. Jared's Hot Take this week is just one. Just one. Just one. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. Two can be as bad as one. All right, here we go. Jared's Hot Take, number one and only.
Beautiful.
This week, we talk about the GOAT. We talk about the greatest of all time. To me, the greatest wrestler of all time was Shawn Michaels or Misawa. It was Shawn Michaels, Misawa, Ric Flair, in some order, depending on my mood that day. That's not saying they were my favorite wrestlers. My favorite wrestler is Stone Cold Steve Austin. But guess what? There's only one motherfucker out here for close to 30 years, changing himself every 5 years to be relevant, to be better, to be the best. His name is Chris Jericho. And Jericho, with his new character in New Japan, coming off of a reinvention in the WWE into a comedy act, with his friend Kevin Owens with a list, coming off of a reinvention of his 2008 run when he was an unbelievable Nick Bockwinkel-esque heel wearing a suit and putting Shawn Michaels into a TV. And that followed a reinvention of the reinvention that was Chris Jericho in the mid-2000s, which was a reinvention of the late 90s, 2000s Chris Jericho, who debuted in the WWE as Y2J, which was a reinvention of the cruiserweight who was a smug asshole on WCW, which was a reinvention of the guy who came from ECW and Japan. Chris Jericho is the only man in the history of professional wrestling who had as many gimmicks as he had, and each and every one of them was significantly different, significantly, maybe not better, but better for the time. This Chris Jericho, calling Naito fuckface, getting in Kenny Omega's face, having these hardcore matches, acting like Bruce Reporter ringside, throwing around young boys, referees, even knocking off the headsets of commentators. This man, Chris Jericho, is the most inventive wrestler in the history of professional wrestling, and to me, when you talk about a guy who's 48 years old and just came off of back-to-back
really
4-star matches, 4.5-star matches.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was vastly different than his run in the WWE, where he was having consistently very good, maybe not great, but very good matches with Kevin Owens and AJ Styles. It's over. The conversation for the greatest of all time is over. Until someone else comes along and reinvents themselves like Chris Jericho has. It's over, done, put the casket closed. This ain't like LeBron versus Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is way better than LeBron will ever be.
Hell yeah.
Debate for another day. But this is it. I'm telling you right now. This fact is as big as Klondike Bill's dick. Shout out to Klondike Bill, one of my favorite people on Twitter. What's up, Klondike? Chris Jericho, the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Speaking of time, I'm all out of time. This week, I just want to say, I don't know what this thing on Twitter, everybody's saying I got some beef with Burbs. Burbs, I got no problem with you. I don't know where you're getting that from. No idea. So if you respond in some way this week, I don't know what's the matter, man. I don't know why people are stirring up trouble on Twitter. But facts are facts. Like I said, this week brought to you by Jared's Hot Takes. Brought to you by Soylent Green. It's not just people, it's for the people. Thanks again. Like I said, greatest of all time, Chris Jericho. Woo, Y2J.
Holy shit. Excellent segment from a boy, Jared. You can follow him on Twitter at JaredPPVT2. Hear him on the Pay-Per-View Take 2 podcast right here on the Suplex City Limits Podcasting Network. Okay. Thoughts on that?
You can't argue with his logic how Chris Jericho's reinvented himself over and over and over again. The best thing about wrestling is it's all opinion based. It's an art form, and people like different things. I definitely would never say he's wrong in saying Chris Jericho is one of the best of all time. Though, just to be devil's advocate, though, Jim, what would be better, the need of not having to reinvent yourself or reinventing yourself?
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, if you went through your whole career and you were hot the whole time, didn't need to reinvent yourself, would that mean you were better than a guy that had to reinvent himself every couple of years to stay relevant?
I mean, who's done that though?
I don't know. I'm just putting an example. I'm just putting an example out there as
not Hulk Hogan, not Macho Man.
No. Everybody.
Roddy Piper, maybe. Roddy Piper,
maybe, but I wouldn't go and say Roddy Piper's best of all time just because of his in-ring work.
Well, no. But I'm saying as far as like somebody who's stuck with one character, I'm trying to go that direction.
Fair. I would say that Roddy Piper sticking around in the early 2000s probably killed that, as well as his late WCW run.
I mean, you got to look at it from what your best of list is. For me, it's very like broken apart group of people. Like he's saying Masawa. Masawa is in my top 5 of like best workers ever.
For sure.
But when you go into like an overall body of work, you gotta kind of throw Chris Jericho in there for the character, because I mean the guy's been a draw for how long? Longevity? I don't know.
2099.
I have a hard time putting him into that upper tier, though. Putting him into a Ric Flair, Terry Funk level, I don't know. Maybe just because it's new, right? It takes a little bit of time. Like you ask somebody their favorite something ever, it's always something old, you know?
Yeah. And you think about it, you know, one name that didn't really have to reinvent himself much, Ric Flair.
Yeah.
He's essentially the same character his whole career.
It's true. Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, I definitely wouldn't argue it, right? If you're like, Chris Jericho's one of the best wrestlers of all time, I go, you know, fucking A, man.
Yep, I stand by that, and I can't disagree with you.
Yeah.
Who would you go with your favorite of all time?
Terry Funk's my favorite wrestler of all time.
I can see it, man. He's so fucking great. He is.
Yeah. Just like an overall. But I mean, as far as like overall my favorites of all time, it's like Terry Funk, Roddy Piper, Dusty, you know.
I was enamored with Dusty as a kid with those polka dots, I will say.
Macho Man also.
Yeah, I would probably go with Macho Man before, up until like 92. This is my favorite wrestler of all time.
Yeah. When I was a little kid, like the WWF days, like Macho Man was my favorite dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't fuck with the madness. Even he reinvented himself. Remember when he came back in WCW all super gassed up?
Oh, dude, that
Came out
Bonesaw
like that super metal fucking song.
Yeah, he was Bonesaw McGraw.
Yeah, it was awesome.
From Superman, Spider-Man. That's basically Gorgeous George, the female version.
Yeah. It was awesome.
It was hot to trot. I loved Gorgeous George.
Hot to trot. But yeah, man, I want to, have people sound off, man, on Twitter at Suplex City Limit, at Jared PPVT2. What do you guys think, man? Chris Jericho, one of the best of all time? Could be.
Yeah, and we don't want to hear bullshit like Chris Jericho's stupid. Because remember, I was going to explain what in words what I thought about that. When you say that a hair versus hair match is stupid, I immediately go towards you're an idiot. Not because of my view and because you don't agree with me, but like I was telling him, hair versus hair is for money. You get the money that you build up for that, so therefore it's not stupid. Because stupid means there's no common sense. And if there was no common sense, they wouldn't have made money. So if they make money, therefore there's common sense and it's not stupid. You make yourself look stupid by saying that. So what I was trying to do was I was trying to make him realize that what he's saying is making him look bad and just look like an idiot. So he should have used different words. And
that's like the LeBron thing, right? With LeBron sucks.
He doesn't suck.
Well, he doesn't
like
suck.
Him.
Yeah, he's a douche, yes, but he doesn't suck.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was a great argument, man. That was funny too, because I couldn't believe I've actually found that GIF, but it really is like when somebody on Twitter gets in an argument with one of us, they think they're going one-on-one, and all of a sudden it's like Step Brothers, where he pops his head out, man. It's
man.
There's actually two of us.
Just so you know. Yeah, that's just what I couldn't get over is, and then when I was told that I insulted him. When I didn't.
That's all it is, man. People are just fucking twats who
and he
look for
listens
attention.
to the show.
Oh, does he?
Well, he said he likes us.
Oh, I don't know. Somebody caught me last week. I forget his name. Shout out to you, sir. I brought up an argument that I had with him on the show, and he's like, dude. he's like, oh, I was like, I didn't know you listened to the show.
Dude, you did me wrong.
Whatever his name is. He's actually a cool guy. I don't remember what the argument was, but it was, but I brought it to the show. Because that's what happens, right? Like, oh, man, you listen to this fucking argument I had with somebody.
Well, and that's the thing. By no means do I come on here to tell this story in hopes that he hears it and gets upset by it. It's more of a, if you come at me, I'm going to come at you in the exact same way I come at everything, as logical as I can, unless I'm stoned in my mind.
On its tits.
Yeah, right. So like, I'm gonna tell you what I'm not gonna, because the last thing I want anybody to tell me is like, you're wrong because I think so. I was like, no, that's stupid, because everything is different. Everybody has their own different opinions, and all kinds of opinions are valid. But when you start using words that just don't work, sure. Right, and if you look back at that argument, guys, his tweets are full of grammatical errors. So he's like me, and being told that from me, man, that's sad.
Yeah, well, then you started like questioning his English, and then I jumped sides. I jumped to his side and started fucking. That's awesome. I fucking double crossed you mid match.
You did. You fucking joined the double cross ranch, you Terry Funk loving piece of shit.
Egg sucking dog. Let's get to the top 3.
Oh, fucking hell.
3. Suplex City Limits top 3.
Suplex City Limits top 3, our top 3 matches of the week. Let's get into them. We got NXT, Dunn versus O'Reilly.
Yes. Which, are you going to read the question we were sent?
We were sent. No, I don't understand his question.
I don't either. So,
what was his name?
I
damn it.
never knew his
You
name.
talk about O'Reilly and Dunn. I'll find it.
O'Reilly and Dunn is probably the best match we've seen all week. It's hard hitting. It had the drama that kept you on the edge of your seat. And at the same time, it just cements the fact that NXT is probably the best week-to-week show in wrestling right now. Easily. And
it was tidy, too, right? This wasn't a long match. It was just like, it was tidy and it had everything you needed. It was fucking good.
Yeah, you had Pete Dunne showing a lot more, in my opinion, showing different sides of him because he spent a lot of the match selling. I liked the powerbomb into a triangle from Kyle O'Reilly, and the other thing that I really liked was the ending where Kyle O'Reilly was just giving him these stiff shots to the face, and he said, you know what, man, you're going down on this one, and he takes his mouth guard out, he goes for the shot and gets caught in the bitter end, and he wins. I thought it was a beautiful ending. Beautiful.
Yeah, very good. And afterward they did a big brawl, and fucking actually good though. Like they did an actually good big brawl. Usually you're so used to like shitty brawls on WWE, but this one was actually good.
Well, yeah, because it was building between Danny Burch and what's his name?
Burch and
Lorcan against Red Dragon 2.0. And then Adam Cole is just nowhere. He's nowhere on the takeover card, which is a goddamn crying shame, but okay.
Yeah, good thing you have that new belt.
Yeah. Yeah.
But other than that, NXT, there's nothing to talk. I mean, fuck it, right?
Yeah, some great videos.
EC3 defeated O&O in a fucking decent match. The only match I want out of this, EC3 versus Jinder Mahal, syringe on a pole match. Bro bucket.
Syringe on a pole. Juice on a pole.
Steroid syringe on a pole.
I'd say you put Hoovy on a pole and just call it juice on a pole match.
The War Raiders defeated some jobbers and then called out the Mighty. That also happened.
Let's preface the fact that the War Raiders almost kill a jobber and then call out the Mighty O'Neil.
Yeah, which should be a good match. I just feel like, what are you... Like, I'm already bored of these guys. I don't know. Is that... I feel like they just wait too long with everything. It's like, how many weeks in a row can I watch a guy destroy jobbers? And I'm just bored.
Have the reason why you don't like them, Jim. I know why you don't like them.
That stupid rock hand thing that they do?
Yes, that is exactly it. Because you know what, Jim? They look like aspy fucking losers. with face paint on. That's what they look like. They look like fat,
Tell that to
hairy, aspy looking losers. If you look at me and tell me that that's cool, that guy, those two guys over there in the ring doing fucking devil fingers and bashing their heads to shitty music is cool, then I don't want to be cool. I'd rather be a loser. I would rather be a fat, out of shape loser than be War Machine right now. I would.
Well, at least you smoke fucking, at least you're living life, right? And drinking and smoking and things.
At least
I know Hanson Straight Edge.
At least
I think they both are.
they go and fucking look at castles in Japan with Kevin Kelly. Ooh. Fuck me, man. I'd rather slit my throat in one of those castles.
Oh my god. I think they're a great tag team, but it's like,
of course.
Let's get on with it, man.
Yeah, let's clear the bullshit and let's just have them as what they were before. Just two big guys that came in, not from a rock show, but just came in to kick ass, and that's it. That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Probably didn't need that. We'll just do our and also Aztec Warfare. Lucha Underground is on our top 3. This was the whole show, so
it was.
Actually, let me end with that. Well, no, the other one's a kind of a discussion too. Well, whatever. Lucha Underground.
Okay, Jim. What did you think of that match? What did you think of the show altogether?
Well, it's interesting, right? Because you kind of messaged a little bit, but we didn't really get into it. No. And I was like, oh, this will be a good discussion. But I love the opening. The funeral was pretty awesome, I thought.
Yep. I love it's not Dario anymore, but Antonio. Yeah, I think the character itself is great. I'm fine with that. I even like how it's a little campy, where it's not supposed to be no mystery that that's the same guy. You know what I mean? Like maybe not in storyline, but it's tongue in cheek, and I like that about it.
I wonder if in storyline it will be.
I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? To me, they could. I really think they could. They could have him, in some vignettes 3/4 of the way through the season where somebody catches him in the room undressed. You know what I mean? Like without the wig.
He faked his own death and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe him and that cop are in on it. Because, I don't trust a cop with a mohawk.
I don't trust any cop, regardless of hairstyle, motherfucker. But yeah, so did you gather this too? Did he say that Antonio is the one who called in the hit?
Yes.
Or no?
Yes.
Yeah. And Lucha Underground is just a cover. And this war that they've been talking about is coming. There's so much story. More story in that opening video sequence than like WWE for a month.
And then the match starts and it's all downhill.
Well, let's get into it. We're in the new temple.
Which is, I don't like the new temple. That's my first strike. I find now they look like every indie promotion in the world.
I'm with you on. And I know some people from Lucha Underground fucking do follow our shit because we've been talking about it since day one. So I know some of them do. Anyway,
it's not going to cause my opinion to change. I will still give them the taller fudge 2 cents. And it's the best 2 cents in the world. The most best. My English is
2 cents Canadian, so it's worth about fucking 3/4 of a cent.
I need to give you a nickel to get a penny back.
Yeah. It's too bright. The room itself is too bright. I didn't like what was with the yellow and blue rope action?
The gayness is what that's all about.
Gay! I don't like that.
No.
It lost its gritty look. I noticed they have some advertised mats around.
Yeah.
Remember like the old one? It was so dark and
grungy and dirty.
Grainy looking that the pads didn't really look like pads.
No.
You know what I'm saying? They look like concrete.
Yep. No, I get you. The whole my problem is not with the match itself. I bet you if we were there live, that match was fantastic. But with the temple not looking the way I want it to look, with just the whole presentation of it just being, it looks a little bit cheaper. When you take the fact that this match starts and from the get-go you can tell that it's cut up so much. There's so much shit edited out. There's little bits, like they'll cut from one guy, he's on top of the stairs. A half a second later, he's on the bottom of the stairs. That is unacceptable. You either film your shit to be tighter and more concise for TV and not edited it, or it's just, to me, they come off as right now with this first episode was a bad idea. This Aztec warfare should have been deeper into the season, where you weren't starting off this season, who a lot of people are going to start off the season critically because of how Lucha Underground has been for the last year or so, and hiatuses and whatever. But I would have just been more story driven instead of putting out a match that didn't get nobody over, a match that didn't evolve any storyline. It was just an hour of filler TV. That's my opinion. That is my opinion. I'm not giving up hope for Lucha Underground. I feel like if we get past this and go into these singles matches and tag team matches and shit like that and more story, I think it'll be a lot better. As for this, though, they got one foot in the grave for me. Not going.
Right. Well, I'm not sure. I know they've reduced funding and shit, but
Yes.
I'm not sure how that translates into it being brighter and less gritty looking.
I know. To me,
that doesn't take money. There's no money involved in making it. So that is weird. Maybe they figure that out a little bit as it goes. I don't know, but it just seemed like it did. It looked like every indie promotion kind of. It looked like. Yeah, it's very weird. So, I don't know, dim it down a little bit, get that gritty look. But they did want to do something different with it too, right? They have a new place.
Yeah.
It is, I guess, a shoot freezer. So people come out of the freezers and shit in the place, and it's got that more blue, whereas Lucha Underground, the original shit was very red.
Yes,
You
it
think
had
of it,
more
you
of a
think
sepia
red.
tone. This has a cooler tone to it.
Yeah, so that's, and there's, at least there's thought on that, right? I mean, that's
agree.
kind of in depth.
I agree.
That's those guys are super creative, like Chris Joseph and shit. I have a ton of respect for that dude, because he probably is in his own brain is it's much deeper than it is, to him. It's probably all kinds of nuance in there that we're not even getting, that he's throwing in there. So
It's very
I don't know.
possible.
I'm okay with it. I thought the match itself was pretty chopped up. It seemed rough, kind of, but it was still more exciting than most shit on here.
I find the last 20 minutes of that episode was great. But to me, my big deal was with the first 20-25 minutes, where you had, to me, it felt like entrances were very... you got one guy come out in a minute, the next guy came out in 30 seconds, the next guy came out in 5 minutes. The next time we've seen it, somebody was stood in the middle of mascaras, cleared the ring, and we waited fucking 30 seconds for the fucking people to come out. It's man, this just, it's obvious that they had time limits. They obviously went over their time by a vast amount, and it was fuck, we've got to cut this down. So
It's very weird, yeah, because you're absolutely right on that. And you can fuck with it a little bit, but you can't fuck with it that much.
No.
And I imagine it was just to shorten it, or
Of
whatever
course,
the reason they had to cut it down. And it is weird when all of a sudden it's a while, and then it's boom, somebody's out, and boom, somebody's out. I'm with you.
Yeah, it was very.
You haven't said anything in here that I disagree with.
No, and that's the thing. When you listen to Suplex City Limits, we are two level-headed stoners that will discuss things, not argue about things. Discussions.
I thought we were going to come in and be in a disagreement on shit. I create some I look for things that we'll disagree on, but usually
it doesn't happen
much
a lot. No.
Yeah. I like that they did the ceremony to remember Dario, and then just
If only-
Antonio comes out and fuck this.
If only they had covered the fucking floor all the way. There's little things I noticed, they had a mat down, and then it was obvious the freezer floor and under it, and it was all chippy and stuff. And I was like, "What funeral home are you in, son of a bitch?" The mat, because you see, it was obviously just curtains. The curtains didn't go down all the way. There was about a foot where the curtains didn't meet the floor. I was like, guys, man, I would have fixed this, not just went with it. But I mean, whatever. I'm sure not everybody's chewing the scenery like I am looking at this stuff.
All right. Yeah. From there, so I don't know if Fox is not a part of this anymore. Is that the deal? I should have looked into that.
Was Fox ever a part of it before?
AR Fox? Dante Fox?
AR. I thought you meant like Fox, the television show, television company. Yeah,
Michael
AR Fox
J?
seems to be gone. I believe Angelico is gone. Jack Evans, I think, is gone.
No, I think they'd filmed this season and then they fucking left.
Oh, really?
I thought so. Maybe they didn't then.
Maybe. I mean, I hope
thought
so.
Evans and Angelico filmed and then quit.
I hope so. That would be great because I love Jack Evans. But
Yeah. So it's set up that Dante Fox is gone. The first man out will now just be the third member of the fucking Trios team.
yeah,
The Trios tag champs. The Son of Havoc, so... but yeah, it was basically just a Royal Rumble or a Rumble style match. Dude, number 5, Mr. Pectacular. Holy fuck, huh?
now this, I will say that if you put Mr. Pectacular, aka Jesse Goddard of Big Brother fame, if you put him in a mat wrestling match, he will impress you. He will.
Really?
Yeah. I've watched, there was one time I was ever impressed by Jesse Goddard because he is an amateur wrestler. He did amateur wrestling throughout high school, so he's got that behind him. He did the one match for the Impact Grand Championship, and he utilized a mat base, and I was blown away. I was writing the review for Vulture Hound. I was just like, man, why is he not the Impact Grand Champion? This is what this is all about. It's round base UFC style. And you got Jesse Goddard over here that's doing really good at a mat wrestling base and not having to be the everyday powerhouse pro wrestler. And he's getting no more over me doing that. So hopefully in Lucha Underground he could show a little bit more of that. But I wouldn't be shocked if he's just going to be regular old Mr. Spectacular.
I think that's a fucking dumb gimmick. But whatever.
Yeah.
He's in good shape and shit. He was on the Bromans with
Yes,
Robbie
E. Yes.
who I never really liked before, but I love his podcast.
This podcast is dope.
Yeah, if I had to suggest a podcast at this point, man, I really enjoy that one lately.
Yeah, I do. I'm honestly, I'm on a big 83 weeks kick. I love 83 weeks.
I hate that show.
Oh, I love it. Love it. I like it for the sheer fact to hear Conrad yell at Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, Bischoff's just such a little fucking cunt.
He is.
Yeah, Tommy Dreamer in this. I liked it. I thought it was cool. I remember you like when we heard about it, you were like,
I'm still, man. Nothing let me down more when that door opened up and it was Tommy Dreamer. I was like, fuck.
I liked it. I thought I like the idea that this is a promotion, right? I mean, like they discussed that, right? So the promotion is a front for what they're actually doing. So I think it's interesting that people would come in, at random.
That's true. That's true. I get you. I get you. I get you. Wait till the Rolling Stones, baby.
Oh God. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rolling Stones.
I think we do
God
this
damn it.
every fucking episode.
Jack Swagger. My phone autocorrects if you type in Swagger. It'll fucking do it to THW Wagger. Swagger.
Good.
But yeah, what else did we have here? Dreamer bumped on some tacks on the bleachers like a fucking champ.
Yeah, they did that, and then Pentagon running ruckshot over everybody.
Yeah, I loved this little. At number 9, Vinny Massaro came out.
Yeah, I thought that was fun. Was fun.
This pizza shows up. He doesn't pay for it. He shoves the dude down, and then gets a Pentagon package pile, drives him into a fucking pizza.
While he's got a piece of pizza in his mouth, and the piece of pizza does not leave his mouth either. Even while he's getting pinned, he still has that piece of pizza in his mouth.
Fucking pretty brilliant, man.
Yeah. Especially if you're going to be that comedy character and you're up against Pentagon. Just have him murder you.
Is this a one-stop thing for Hernandez when Hernandez is like, oh, no. And then he hit the ring and immediately had his arm broken. And I was like, yay.
I hope so. I've never.
Do you think that's it? That would be amazing if they had him come in for one day, break his arm, and then he's gone for the rest of the season.
Man, honestly, the only time I want to see Hernandez is in a tag team with Homicide. That's it. Other than that, Hernandez has no reason to be on TV.
And Helico was supposed to come out, but then it didn't. So I don't know. That could be part of it. Maybe that's part of the joke. You know, he quit. So then they did that. I have no idea if he filmed or not. It's
And
Ricky
then
Mundo.
Yes, Ricky Mundo with a doll.
What's with the doll? Was
I
there
don't know, but I
any?
like
That's
it.
the new thing.
I like the doll is talking to him, obviously. But other than that, that's all I know, and I'm intrigued to know more.
Yeah, I thought Phoenix was in 13. He did amazing shit in here, man. He did some really good high flying.
He did. That's something you can always look forward to for Phoenix. He's always going to give you a good show.
Yeah. Mil Marches with Katrina. So hot.
Oh my God, man! Like,
Yeah.
she came out just making my loins burn.
There's a couple of nudes of her out on Celeb G.
A couple. You mean hundreds?
Hundreds.
Oh, dude, there's over 100. There's got to be 100 pictures.
Wow.
There's videos.
Oh yeah, this really? I didn't know if I saw all that.
Oh,
I saw
dude.
some pictures.
Dude, I've got them all.
Nice. Are they
I'll
are
send
they
them.
are they
I was
like
sent the
super
folder.
graphic or not?
I mean, there's not much. Like there's you see everything,
Pretty excellent.
but like the videos themselves aren't much. No.
I know, like that's the thing now, like in the modern pussy wrestling culture that we live in. We're like, oh, that's on this show we embrace new leaks, man.
I mean, hey, dude, we didn't leak them, so we're just reporting
Right.
that they're leaked.
Exactly. Some people, I remember when I like put that in the group, and some people were like mad about it. I'm like, really?
I say, you guys need to get your dick sucked.
I'm sorry, I got a dick. So
Yeah, and it gets up when I see shit like this, so deal with it.
Phoenix also had a crazy stomp on Mil Muertes. You see, like can't even describe. Like I've never seen it before, anything like that before, but pretty good shit. Chavo briefly out. I think his arm was broken as well.
Hopefully, because that's not who I want to see on my television. 2018.
Nah, he's just a producer. But yeah, I don't know how small their roster is going to be now. I mean, I guess the other lizard guy was out at some point. Vibora
Yes.
as like a run in.
What did they call Luchasaurus?
Well, yeah, Vibora. And I didn't see Drago. I didn't see the other, lizard guy.
Aerostar.
So. El Dragon Azteca Jr., was he on here?
Yes, he was.
He was.
Actually,
Yes, he was.
Yeah, I would imagine that they'll just bring in Aerostar and Drago. It's just not for this match. You know what I mean? I would
Aerostar
imagine.
was out there, wasn't he?
Was he?
Oh, no, he wasn't. Maybe he wasn't. Yeah, I guess not.
What I would have done for this match here is the problem with having Aztec Warfare or whatever the fuck it's called.
Well, yeah, the winner is the champ, so Pentagon successfully defends. He breaks Marty's arm at the end, I guess.
Yeah,
So.
and he defends it against everybody, so you can't really have your main players in that match. You know what I mean? Or you shouldn't have all your main players in that match. Leave people that he's never beat. If that makes any sense. You know what I mean? So like, you keep them out of this match, you can sprinkle them throughout, and they don't have that loss on the record kind of deal. So, and
I was hoping at the end for another video, but they didn't do it.
No, it just went off there. It was very lacking. It was an hour of no story. It was just an hour of a match. I think that was my main deal with it. The fact they cut it up so much and there was no story, and I like Lucha's story.
Yeah. Enough to, become top three. And in our top three this week. And the other top three. Why don't you go ahead and fucking, yeah.
The other top three is the best hour and a half on television this week, in my opinion. And it was the New Day taking on the Elite at E3 in Street Fighter V.
You officially jumped the shark. 166 episodes of doing the fucking top thing. Yeah, and here we go. The top three is fucking Elite New Day playing fucking
Street
Xbox
Fighter.
together.
And you know what, man? The promos were so savage. Kenny Omega talking about how the New Day don't write their own promos.
Oh, yeah.
And just all this stuff. I thought it was so good. The fact that they did a best of 5 Street Fighter tournament and it actually went down to the last match, the last possible match it could possibly be, to get.
And
the
I
winner.
actually watched it, dude.
I did too.
That's just it. I actually watched. I would never watch something like that, really.
No.
You know, like, yeah.
And
Pretty
so,
fucking crazy.
Yeah, it kept my attention throughout. I thought that they played it. Like, I don't know how to play Street Fighter, but I feel like the fact that they did, best the first person to 5 literally went 10 fucking rounds basically because both of them went to 4, and it was just you couldn't write a better scenario. But now,
And he used one of the new characters.
He used Mayor Cody. Which, is that a take on Cody Rhodes?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sure looks like him.
it really looks like I heard a rumor too, not a rumor, but Dave Meltzer said that by the end of the year there's going to be a lot going on, and it really seems like Kenny, the Bucks, and Cody. I don't know, man. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
I feel like you've got, and we can talk about Kenny Omega and his match being on the WWE Network this week here too. I believe that they are a couple years away from throwing everything under the sun at Cody, Kenny, and the Bucks. Everything.
Everything. For what though? For fucking what?
I don't want them to, I don't want this to be mistaken that I'm saying, hey, I'd like for Kenny and the Bucks to go to the WWE. No, I don't want that. But this is it's a lot from a cynical point of view. I would imagine that these guys here by the end of this year are going to be not household names, but just, they're going to be significant players in pop culture. And you give them another couple years, I think the WWE is going to need them. I think that the WWE will have a hard time against them, and they would throw everything that they can just to get so nobody else can have them. But on the other hand, I feel like the way this is going, that Kenny and the Young Bucks could be one of the first people, if they keep playing their cards right, to be able to do WWE and New Japan at the same time. You know what I mean?
So I was looking at kind of like this way though, as a musician, right? So these guys have a band, and they're playing their own songs, and they're doing all their own shit, and
Yes.
they're making a very good living at it. And so the opportunity comes up for you to fill in as whatever your position, if you're a drummer.
You're gonna
So
be,
this big band wants you to fucking, like Guns N' Roses wants you to fucking play drums on 2 tours or something. Like, do you really want to go do that? I don't know. Like, in WWE, you're not creating your own shit. You're doing bullshit.
No.
Over on the other side, they can do whatever they want. And, dude, they're making a ton of fucking money.
They are, but they're not making fuck you WWE money. You know what I mean?
think they got to be getting close, man.
Yeah, no, but I agree with you that they're close right now to what they would make over the WWE. But I have heard Dave Meltzer say that the Young Bucks, they're making a lot of money now, but it's nowhere near what they're making in the WWE, nowhere even close. But
Those guys have a great T-shirt deal. They get like $10 a shirt, and they sell hundreds of thousands of shirts.
yeah, no, I get you there. Their merchandise might hurt them, but I believe like the
Those
downside
Golden
would-
Elite shirts were like
quick-selling
fucking unbelievably. How many do they sell? He'll probably come out and say it because he does say
He
it.
does say, yeah, they got no problem saying it. Which, hey, man, if you sell them, bro.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hide it either. But in a couple of years, though, if look at it, $2 billion in the next 10 years they'll get for SmackDown alone.
Is this a couple of years when Vince is dead? Then maybe.
Who knows? Maybe. But
That cocksucker may
the
outlive
money
all of
that
us.
they would throw at them at that point in time, if they did get that big, is more than what they could ever conceive of making on the Indies.
To me, if you're gonna do anything with those guys, you got to bring them in. You got to make them the top fucking guys.
You
And
bring
you're
them in
gonna
all
have
at
to-
once and they kill everybody as soon as they walk in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you could, well, they can't be Bullet Club, right? But they could be the Elite.
Yeah, they can be the Elite.
Yeah.
That's something they can definitely be. And
That's super.
honestly,
That was super smart on their part because
Yeah.
Bullet Club is owned by New Japan, and they've almost taken the Elite and like, well, we'll just start a new thing and we'll fucking get it up to that level.
Yeah, and you look at it too. I would imagine that at some point in time, the Elite and Bullet Club split, and you got 2 factions out of it.
I mean, we're pretty close right now.
Yeah, we are with Ibushi, and because as soon as Ibushi joined, it's kind of like it's a moot point. Elite's different from Bullet Club now because Ibushi is not in Bullet Club, but he's in Elite. So,
Have you seen? There's a picture. I don't know. Someone tweeted out this week. I think maybe it was B-Rad had it on his Facebook, but he's like, find somebody who looks at you the way that Ibushi looks at Omega. And it's like after that match, it's like after Omega became champion and he's left there with the Bucks on their shoulders and Ibushi's just looking at him, dude, like love in his eyes, man.
Dude, I have no doubt in my mind that they love each other.
Either those two are 69ing or it's the greatest work in the history of the business. That's
and
it.
I don't care which one it is. Either. You know
I don't
what
care
mean?
either.
You know what I mean? It's one of those things where I could care less if this was true. I could care less if it's not true.
If you can be on a tag team with your best friend / fucking gay lover, that sounds amazing, right?
Yeah, of course. Travel the world with your fucking significant other? Of course, man.
Wrestle together, tag team.
Going out to dinner with Cody and Brandy. You know, double
playing
dating.
Street Fighter. Fuck.
Wrestling
Awesome.
in Kota Ibushi's ring in his garage.
Yeah. It's like, I am envious of gay men, I think,
Dude, man, it's got to be the easiest relationship in the world because I get
There's a
along with men
reason
so
that,
much easier.
it's the word gay, right? I mean, gay is happy. And it's,
Yeah,
definitely.
They're the happiest people in the world. You can look at them, you can tell that. They look happy.
You get some people that try to say, like, the people choose to be gay. Trust me, no straight dude is chosen to be gay.
No.
It's impossible.
No, you're not going
There's no way you
go out in life and choose to be ridiculed by people.
Well, there's just no way that if you don't love wieners, that you're going to convince yourself that you do.
No.
There's no way.
No.
Not even if it means, like, hanging out and drinking beer with your significant other and, like, co-oping through video games and shit,
No, it takes a certain chemistry makeup to like a penis. Because I look at them and I think they're the grossest things ever. Like, I don't even like my own.
Ew, wieners.
Yeah, exactly. Like you put, okay, they're named after wieners, a fucking food that you put in water and you boil. It smells salty and sweaty.
I just think it's a funny term. I just think it's funny to refer to dicks as wieners as a grown man. Like, I'm 37 years old, like, wiener. Oh, shit. So that's top 3.
That is the top 3. That was...
Buttoned it up, put it to bed.
Put those sheets over his face.
All right, and from there, let's check in with a boy, Burbs, for this week's Bitchin' with Burbs.
Ladies and gentlemen, Burbs. Hello, I am Burbs. I am here, so consider yourselves blessed. And I have one question for everyone listening tonight. Who wants to bitch with Burbs? That's right, I'm so great. I'm never wrong either. I thought I was once, but I was mistaken. There are some podcasters out there who don't enjoy crediting others, even act like the other podcasters don't exist, and they want it all about themselves. But if you're from within the borderline limits of this hellhole known as Suplex City, then you already know that BWB stands for... I said BWB stands for... That's right. Now, this week I've written a little song. So, right now I need all you fuckfaces to turn up your cell phones, hold your applause, and shut your fucking face. Wait till I'm done.
He already plays guitar better than Elias. Does he have Jack Johnson with him?
your boy, Babs. How you doing, Jim? How you doing, Tyler? You fucked it up last time I was here, but I'm not giving you the chance this week. Let bygones be bygones. Hope you're all good and healthy and stoned and getting all the dick and or cock that you require. So a big few days for CM Punk this week. He beat the Z-Pack out of WWE, and Dr. Is it a man or is it a woman? Then gets his ass molested by Michael Jackson. No, not that one. And speaking of that, what a shit match. Like, UFC has become a joke, but that match was shit. You know how Colt Cabana's got a shirt saying, like, scot-free? Phil Brooks should capitalise on his, quote-unquote UFC career and have a t-shirt made saying, you just been punked. Because that's exactly what he's just done to Dana White twice. Fuck him anyway, though, because he doesn't like wrestling. Ha-ha! Corey Graves jumps on the bandwagon with his fucking ice cream haircut and starts throwing jabs at CM Punk via Twitter. Admittedly, they were actual jabs and not ballerina twirls, innit, Punk? Speaking of Corey Graves, I think Bob Coddle's new gimmick is actually imitating Corey Graves and being a dickhead and talking about things he knows nothing about. Listen, Coddle, if it wasn't for this big fucking ocean between us, I'd have already kicked your ass, and I'm not gonna pay for a fucking ticket to fly over there and maybe have a chance of you beating me up. But listen, I'm not fucking paying a ticket. If you want me, you can fucking fly over here and I'll beat you up, and you can pay for the fucking ticket. Either that or shut the fuck up. Anyway, so yeah, Corey Graves is like complaining on Twitter about CM Punk abandoning him because he works in WWE and all that shit. And he's like, oh, come and fight me, I'll fight you. And oh, mate, shut the fuck. I tell you what, I'd slap Corey Graves myself. If it wasn't for the ocean between us, I'd have already flown. And you know what? He's got the money. Tell you what, you fly over here, ice cream head, and bring fucking Coddle with you. I'll take that, you set of honky cracker bitches. Let's be real though, it's been a great week for matches. Not just matches, great matches. Not just great matches, fan-fucking-tastic matches. My eyes were glued to the screen. There was funny parts too. Just fucking great stuff. Obviously you didn't watch Raw this week. No. I'm talking about the New Day and the Elite beasting the fuck out of each other on Street Fighter 5. You can tell WWE had nothing to do with it because the wrestlers were actually looking at the TVs correctly. And there's talk about the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega being approached by WWE now for a load of money. Don't fucking go there. Please don't go there. Save yourself. Seriously, save yourself. Listen to me. No, but really, WWE are like a filthy ex. She promises to suck you off and put a finger in your ass. I mean, she promises you a really manly blowjob, steak and football and monster trucks. Yeah, so anyway, she says she'll give you the world and that, and once she's got you, she will ruin your soul. Exactly like the WWE. They'll keep you away from your mates. They'll make you do jobs you don't want to do. And they ain't keen on rape either, so you'll have to cut back on that as well. Fuck that. Monday Night Raw this week started with a bunch of wrestlers and women up a bunch of ladders just at the top of them in the ring just for no reason whatsoever. I'm guessing they were playing a game of fakes and ladders. Fakes and ladders. Oh, fuck off. Anyway, Corey Graves says Raw's never started like this before. Yeah, there's a fucking reason for that, because it makes no sense at all. Kurt Angle comes out, and before he gets into anything interesting, Cunt Stubble Corbin, get it? Cunt Stubble. Oh, I'm calling him that from now on, that's a good one. Cunt Stubble. How have they made that so easy? Anyway, Cunt Stubble Corbin looks a lot better, I must say, wearing a suit. On another note, he's had his 35 strands of hair cut off, and now he looks like a newly shaved testy with a beard. He'll have to keep on top of that, otherwise he's going to start looking like he's got alopecia, and that'll give a whole new meaning to WWE backstage fallout. Kurt Angle asks Natalya, and Natalya says she's cleared for the match. Fuck's sake. Anyway, the girls start bitching. Kevin Owens interrupts and says, let's talk about something important. At least someone gets me. Then they argue again over nothing. Either Balor or one of the girls does a high-pitched scream to interrupt everyone arguing, and then they all just stand there on the ladders, just as it fades out. Alright then, what the fuck? Then after the commercial, we've got a fatal four-way between the four women who were just in the ring, right? Who were just there, and then they have their entrances played, and then they come out again. What the fuck? Natalya wins, which is disgusting, but at least ensures me that she ain't winning at the pay-per-view. She is so fucking shit. The bandages around her legs sell her injury better than she does. Next, Fandango and Tyler come out, who no longer feels the breeze since he's grown a new beard. After Ziggler and Braveheart beat for Breeze, they both get on the mic and say how they're going to save the tag team division by taking out the whole tag team division, which would mean it would just be them and it would no longer be a division. Right, okay. What the fuck? Next, there was a dog Roman backstage. Get it, Roman. Oh, fuck off. Right, so he says he's going to take back what's legitimately is the WWE Universal Championship. But how can he take back something he's never fucking had? Kevin Owens and Bobby Roode have a backstage promo. Luckily, Owens does the talking. Then they have a women's match. Not Kevin Owens and Roode, I mean, it's a women's match. I had to stop fast-forwarding when I seen Liv Morgan, though. They beat up Bailey, right? Salt to wound. They put the letter R on her stomach. Come on, guys. We all know she's retarded, but come on. Finn Balor and Bobby Roode backstage, and Finn Balor says he's going to stick to Kevin's plan and go for Braun Strowman. But then he says he's going to keep one eye on Bobby and the other one on Kevin. Well, I'm sure it wouldn't be the first time he's watched two men go at it. Oh, fucking hell. That's insensitive. But come to think about it, if he's got one eye on Bobby and one eye on Kevin, how the fuck is he going to watch Braun as well? Maybe it's with his third eye. Get it? Third. That's how the Irish say third. Third eye. Asshole. Oh, fuck you. I'm not even going to get into this Bobby Lashley shit. I'm fucking done. Fuck me, I feel sorry for Sami Zayn. Moving on to SmackDown Live, because Raw sucked dick. Fuck Bob Coddle. The show starts off with women in the ring and, what's it called? Paige. Lana forgets she's Russian and speaks with this American accent. Anyway, women start bickering again. Then them Aussie bitches come out. Man, can someone jump the barricade and stop these fuckers, please? Jesus. Paige makes an 8-woman tag team match. Great. Paige again sees Asuka, then makes it a 10-woman tag team match. Great. Paige again sees Miz and didn't give him what he wanted by giving him what he wanted. All right then. Lawler has a fucking segment, because why not? We're in Memphis. Fuck off. He brings out AJ after finally getting through his fucking lines, all to ask him why did he slap Shinsuke. That's it, just that. Thanks a fucking lot. Miz seen backstage asking a ref for tips. Luckily it wasn't that Mike Kyoto fucker. Byron Saxton says if Miz really is preparing for rough ref, then he's a double for Denzel Washington. How the fuck do you expect us to believe that when Denzel Washington's black? Me best mate Shin shown backstage. Oh, I love him long time, but why does he always look like he's trying to seductively work his way through a bunch of cobwebs? Corey Graves says there's a fine line between arrogance and ignorance. I know, yeah. Alright, it wasn't that funny. Alright, it wasn't funnier than my fucking jokes. Alright, you didn't laugh like this on my... Oh, fuck you all! Next we've got... Oh, you're... No way. Another women's main event? Are you fucking serious? I'm done. Call it. I'm done. Mike, turn it off. That is me done for the week, boys. I can't cope with the shit that's happened this week. My head is going to explode. But luckily, we've got NXT TakeOver this Saturday. Well, not before you've tuned into this week's episode of Suplex City Limits. Yeah, boy. But yeah, there's nothing else for me to say or do. I've already said what I wanted to on Bob Coddle. That jabroni thinking that he knows me, but I made him blow me baloney like I did with Naomi. No, not her. In fact, I don't even know who. But he sucked me like her. You heard it. And there's nothing he can do. He's fucking miles away. Fuck you, Coddle. Anyway, Jim. Anyway, Tyler. Thanks for having us on. Catch you next time. Peace, boys. Aha, but not you, Bob Coddle. Fuck you, buddy. You towns.
Special appearance by Terrence and Phillip.
It's a boy Burbs, international rapper, all around bad motherfucker. Follow him on Twitter at Burberry Beats with 3s instead of E's. Also check out the YouTube channel for Bitchin' with Burbs. A couple of days after the show goes up, all of the Bitchin' with Burbs segments are up there. So link those things, share them with people, and have a good time. They just get fucking better. That was amazing.
That was first when he started doing the concert bit. I was like, I really like this, but what is it? And then it dawned on me. It's like, oh, he's Elias, and he's cutting a promo on Bob. Fuck yes. The story continues. I cannot wait for their showdown.
Oh my god!
It has
Very
to
good
happen,
shit.
Jim. It has to happen.
Thank you very much, Burbs. I fucking love it. We can touch on the things. I mean, he pretty much nailed it all, right? I mean, he goes through Raw and SmackDown. He pretty much nails everything.
He did. The first note I had was from Raw, and the ladder start was atrocious. I sent that to a buddy of mine. And I sent it to him, and I was just like, dude, look at this. Because he asked me, he's like, how's WWE doing these days? And I was like, this is how they opened up Raw. And it's just, he was blown away. Absolutely blown
Ember
away.
Moon can't even fucking stay on the thing.
No.
You see her moving around the whole time, like about to fall off of it. Oh my god!
And what's up with this? Kevin Owens was afraid of heights 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, no,
Now, fuck me, right?
fuck that twice on this show,
Man, it's so it's stupid.
dude. Everybody on ladders with fucking microphones, just. And yeah, you teased that this guy's afraid of heights last week. You put him on the tallest ladder.
And he cuts the best promo. What?
What?
yeah, no.
Fucking awful, dude.
Exactly.
The women in a four-way, it was pretty shitty. The crowd chanted, "This is awesome." And there's not a lot of things going on in North Little Rock, Arkansas, I'm going to guess.
Now, I will say, out of the women's matches that they have had of late, it was more exciting than usual. But by no means was it a.
Did you
This
see
is awesome
the
worthy chant.
entire? Did you see the entire upper bowl on both sides were fucking curtained off?
Really?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Did you see
The
Sasha
whole
Banks do the ST plunge there off the turnbuckle? She looked like she fell. Like that was not try. She didn't try that.
Yeah.
Nobody does
Oh,
that.
yeah.
But
It's
no,
fucking really.
I mean, how many? What's the population of Little Rock, Arkansas?
I don't know.
Because I've never been there, obviously. I mean,
I have no idea.
I feel like it'll be a small place. I feel like they wouldn't fill that many WWE fans, even though it's Arkansas. And
That's where we're at for Raw. Remember when Raw used to be like, big fucking places? Now Raw, I think coming up here, Raw's coming to Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Ooh,
Who actually do fill the fucking for house shows, so.
and usually TV brings in a bigger crowd, so at least
This
I know
fucking,
up here it does.
there was no one here. You could tell the whole show. It was pretty quiet. The crowd was just not very good.
Yeah, I agree, but they weren't given much of a show to be vocal about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Little things I wanted to. This is a minor thing, but so like Owens meets up with Balor backstage. He brings him some olives. Why?
I don't know.
Did somebody see that and was like, it'd be really good. What this scene needs is Owens to bring him some olives.
Like, do they equate Balor as being Popeye?
No, I don't know. It's really fucking dumb. But whatever. What else we got? McIntyre Ziggler.
The one note I have in McIntyre Ziggler, I like one part of their entrance when McIntyre gets on the turnbuckle and that light comes on. I like that effect.
This guy, you could have brought this guy in and done all kinds of shit with him. You could have put him in the title picture.
I would have
from
had him
Go.
win Money in the Bank.
I mean, or you could have had, Lesnar happens to be on Raw, and boom, this motherfucker comes out. He looks like a challenger for him. He can work. He can talk. What are you doing? They cut this
Blindsides him with the
promo
Claymore.
afterward.
Dude.
Yeah, they cut the promo afterward, and the crowd just whats him completely.
Yeah.
And not in like a heel way, in just a like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah,
there you go.
I agree. They could have made a bigger splash with McIntyre, but I mean,
Yeah.
I'm done thinking that WWE is going to do the right thing, and they're just going to do the safe thing.
Seth Rollins curb stomps a guitar.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Coach
man.
doesn't know there are acoustic electrics.
Oh, you didn't.
He's like, acoustic elect? Gray's like, yeah, that's a thing. He's like, oh. How did you think you were hearing it, you motherfucker?
They don't really know much about music, do they? Because over on SmackDown, they mentioned how John Mayer was an R&B artist.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But yeah, that Ruby and Bailey thing was just, dude. Bailey tries to slide through. Did you see that? And just, this just stops.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
I will say, though, the longer Ruby Riot's hair gets, the sexier she becomes. I think every week I get a bigger crush on Ruby Riot.
If you're a fan of hers, they just did a formerly known as on her on the YouTube.
Yes, from Heidi Lovelace to Ruby Riot.
Yeah, which that series is fucking great. Man.
I like how they're doing that. I hate how they're burying it on YouTube, though.
Well, yeah, that's what they do, these things. But yeah, they're like, their whole thing before the match, they're like, backstage being punk rock. Like, what? Like, they're punk rock, so they're like flipping fucking food over and like cut a dude's tie. Like, oh, punk rock. Oh, fuck you.
Burp.
7-star podcast.
Yes. Kenny Omega and Okada got 7 stars. We didn't mention that.
Much to the anger of fucking half the marks on the internet.
I mean, everybody's gonna be angry. It's a star system. It's not your star system, so why do you care?
That's just it, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you want to do something, make your own fucking stars. Give it 47 stars if you want. I don't give a fuck. Give it 2 stars. Great. That's yours. This is just his.
Yeah.
We do our top 3. That's just our top 3.
Yeah.
You know?
It's all perception. It's all give and take. It's all you expect it to be.
You start a fucking newsletter or a podcast and see how many people care about your star rating.
Travis just shocked me. Just came around the corner there. Travis Fudge is awake.
Hey. Doing a podcast.
Yeah, doing a podcast in the living room.
Do you want to preview Money in the Bank with us?
Travis, do you want to preview Money in the Bank with us?
He's like, no, I'm fucking going to take a shower.
What?
I would just say it's going to suck, and then that's it.
Well, like, I don't know. We can both use this mic, I suppose.
Both use condenser.
We can both use this one. You can just kiss me on the cheek while you're doing
Like,
it, right?
backup singer style, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like when the singer comes over and sings into the bass player's mic?
Yeah, exactly. Just like that. And we'll get a headphone splitter. We'll get some corn nuts. We'll get some Cheetos. We'll get some of that thing we used to eat back in the day. What was that?
It's not as easy as that. You know, you're not set up at all for that shit.
No, we're not set up at all for it.
So yeah, we'll let him get out of it. He doesn't want to do that anyway.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
sure.
already gone over to the couch.
Yeah, fuck that. I didn't do that shit. Are you in a different room today?
Well, actually, I've been in this room for like the last month. This is the first time somebody's woken up while I was doing it.
Oh, there you go.
It's just easier. This is Jim. This is the home of the Federation. This is where we record the Federation.
Yeah.
So it's
There it is. Now you have to do the thing where like you do a show with somebody in the background, which no matter who it is makes you uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable.
I mean, I'm just stoned enough to not care.
There it is. Coach in a ring with Nia and Ronda was fucking awful. Awful.
Yeah, I mean, the whole segment was awful.
I love Nia Jax. How she's a heel. She's a face. She's a heel again.
She's a
face.
I don't believe any babyface thing she does.
Yeah.
I don't. I really don't. And Ronda, the less she talks, the better.
No way, Jose. Here comes your push, brother. He defeats Herder Dawkins.
Yeah, buddy. I couldn't fast forward that match fast enough.
Dude, and this obstacle course, the amount of effort that went into hauling all of that bullshit down. They had to make it or buy it. They had to haul it. They had to bring it all down, set it all up, tear it back down for this.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
It was very
Tough. Fuck, dude.
I mean, like Burb said, the Lashley and Zayn, I'm done with it. You know what I mean? I can't wait for Lashley to just beat Zayn's ass so bad so that this can be over.
Oh, man.
Because I don't even want it to be even a chance that this continues. I want Lashley to just kill him. You know what I mean? And so we can move on to something different.
Yeah. And we're not Lashley fans, but he's another guy who, if handled correctly, you could have brought in and built a fucking really big match with Lesnar, or you could have put him in the title picture. Instead, you've just shit it away. It's like, he's got sisters. He was in the army.
Yeah, it is.
I'd just as soon blow my brains out.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking A. And then, what else we have here? We have the fucking main event.
Yeah, which was, what was it, the
They did
four-way?
a Tower of Doom spot in both of the 4-ways, you know that?
Well, I mean, that's because it's a WWE 4-way. You can't have a WWE 4-way to a Tower of Doom, Jim. Come on. So you can't go to
like
commercial or throwing somebody into the steps. You just can't do it. Or a tope. It's got to be one of those two options.
Yeah. But yeah, Owens for the second time shows he's not afraid of heights by doing a fucking frog splash off the top of a huge ladder through the announce table.
Yeah. Thanks for giving away that spot before Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah, it's a huge fucking spot you could have saved.
Yeah.
You pissed it away with this.
Cool.
Yeah, just for Strowman to come back from it and win anyway. So
I did like Kevin Owens, though, and how he acted whenever Strowman would come around him.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like, no, please, don't, please, just begging. I do like that.
He's still not there, man. You know, there's a little spot that really pissed me off with Strowman. Rude hits the glorious DDT, and Strowman flops like a fish trying to get into position for the pin. It's like, whoa. Like he lands, and then he's like, oh, I got to flip halfway around. Pretty shitty. But yeah, I mean, it's just the same shit, man. I don't even want to talk about it anymore, really. Raw and SmackDown fucking suck. And the pay-per-views suck. And it sucks.
Yeah. SmackDown was much better than Raw, I will say. I enjoyed it much
And
better.
that Women's Open sucked.
Yeah, I agree with you there. But we did get at least an entertaining match between Benjamin and Bryan.
True.
True. As short and as pointless as it was, we got Jeff Hardy Nakamura, which was at least something we've never seen before. And then
let me add on there. Hold on. Hardy wins by DQ, his first singles win since Backlash on May 6th.
Wow.
Yeah, I looked that up myself.
Good.
I was like, this motherfucker just loses every week. One thing too, I guess, just quickly go back to Raw. Did you notice that how putting 4 men in one match on Raw completely sends them into fucking confusion? Like, they didn't have enough shit to fill the show. They were stretching the whole show and dusting off and bringing out like the fucking... I was surprised we didn't see fucking Titus Worldwide on the show.
I'm surprised we didn't see Authors of Pain. Actually, apparently there's a visa issue with one of them.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently
Again.
that's what it is.
Another fucking thing. Figure this out in NXT. Why have you not figured this out?
Yeah.
Same thing
Yeah,
with
I
the
know.
licensing issues and all that shit. I don't understand.
It's piss poor management is almost...
I haven't heard that. What I heard was, well, you remember they did do tag team vignettes for Money in the
Yes.
Bank, like a tag team one. That was supposed to happen and didn't. And then they're like, well, we'll get into the Authors of Pain. They figured
I heard that the reason why it didn't happen was because of the visa issue and the licensing issue for Sanity.
I mean, was Sanity going to be in it then? I suppose, yeah.
Yes.
Sanity and Authors of Pain.
Yes. And then once they were deemed that they probably wouldn't be ready for Money in the Bank, they probably just scrapped it because they did do. You're right. They did. What was it? The Ascension, Brizongo, and another team that did Drew McIntyre and Ziggler. They did the Money in the Bank promos.
Rusev defeats Samoa Joe with, referee shenanigans. And he takes the briefcase. Miz crawls up, grabs the briefcase, and goes outside, and it's pancakes.
New day.
It was such a fucking cartoon thing, right?
It was literally
Dennis the Menace.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
Or Alvin, right? From Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And I say fuck this company.
Yeah. Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking sucked. So you have to believe that the New Day came down earlier in the show and then crawled up and hung that up there and put pancakes in there.
Yeah. And the fact that we're thinking that deep into this.
No. And the other thing on this show is, okay, so one of the best wrestlers of our generation, whose career is cut short, he has to retire. We have that emotional he's retiring. He's hurt. It's never coming back. He fucking comes back. And this is what we're doing.
I know.
A fucking too short to ride a fucking roller coaster thing.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate for 1 second on that. Cass's delivery of that promo was good.
Okay. But still, dude.
I will give you that. I want to go and I want to just shed a little bit of light on it and just be like, It's a stupid angle for in this circle. I would take this angle with anybody else, not with Daniel Bryan in his circumstances. What it should have been was Daniel Bryan comes back and he's got a list of people in this company that he wants to face. You know, they love to fuck with Kenny, the Bucks, Cody. Take Cody's list, right, and give it to Daniel Bryan. Have Daniel Bryan fucking say, I want to face these guys, and he just works his way through them, beating them one after one. That's just such a great story until he leaves to Brock Lesnar and takes it off of him. You know what I mean? That's a story that you could tell, and it'd be awesome.
I just don't get it, man.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. Imagine if we went back like a year and a half, whatever it was, and somebody's like, "Oh yeah, dude," and like, "I'm from the future," and in a year and a half or in 2 years, Daniel Bryan will be back from his injury. You'd be like, "No fucking way!" And his first angle is going to be with Cass. You're like, that tall piece of shit from that shitty tag team? Yeah,
Where's
that
Enzo?
guy.
Where's Enzo? Oh, he raped a bitch.
Yeah, he didn't. Well, he didn't rape a chick, and he got fired because he didn't. And yeah, and Big Cass is going to fucking beat him on Sunday.
I think Bryan's going to beat him. I hope.
And then there's women's 10 woman match to end the show.
Historic 10 women. It's the biggest women's match in WWE history, if you don't count
Great.
Royal Rumble. Yeah.
Asuka taps Carmella.
Which means Asuka's not going to win.
What happened to Andrade and Sin Cara? Didn't happen.
Yeah, right. That got dropped hotter than a fucking.
Yeah. So, welcome to the main roster. Almas. Again, who the fuck have they brought up? Kevin Owens is the last guy they brought up and actually did something with.
Yeah, basically.
And he's an upper mid-card guy now. You could make him champion tomorrow, no problem. You know what I'm saying? So, since then, they just shit the bed on all these guys. They bring people in, they shit the bed. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I agree. And
why even fucking bother? So almost since he's been there, he's beat 2 jobbers. He's had some backstage shit with Sin Cara, who is a fucking jobber. And then the match doesn't even happen. It just gets pushed.
That's what happens when you have a feud with Sin Cara.
This company is so fucking lost.
It is. It's very
Like,
lost. It's even hard to watch.
It is hard to watch. The old man is fucking rapidly going into dementia. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
Because this shit's fucking awful. But this is where I was really looking back recently at some of the old, like, the dog shit era, 94. Like, 1994, I think, is the epitome of it.
I'm
how
trying
their
to see
business
the
was-
difference between 94 and 95.
Oh, no, same difference. Okay, with that era. Their business was super fucking down.
Yes. To the point
Why?
where they had to film Raw each week in the Manhattan Center.
Dude, it was awfully, and it was because it sucked. Because they had guys like fucking The Dumpster and Bastion Booger and Man Mountain Rock and
Yeah.
that whole thing. And I feel like that's where we're at again, where it's just like, it's so shitty.
Yes.
But
No,
this
I
time,
agree.
they're making tons of money. This would be like if in 95, they were still making tons of money, despite having like fucking,
Despite themselves.
Isaac Yankem and shit.
Yeah. You got to commend a brilliant business model that allows this to happen for a wrestling company.
Yeah.
You got to think it's like, wow, they did something really fucking well. Whatever the
It's a
fuck that
TV
is.
show. It's a live TV show, so it gets that live TV money.
Yep.
That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much it draws in stadiums. It doesn't matter what you fucking do or how hard you try or what you fucking anything. It's still going to have this base number forever. Probably forever.
Yeah. I 2.5 million.
Yeah. That's it. Does it get
And that's even if you believe Nielsen ratings.
if you got a Nielsen rating below 2 million, maybe they'll do something. But the old man's fucking nuts. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, he's dead in the eyes.
He's dead in the eyes.
The only thing Vince McMahon should be doing now is Camp WWE because he's awesome on Camp
He's fucking
WWE.
awesome on that. That is very true. There you go. Fuck that show. God damn.
Yeah. So should we take a look at these pay-per-views?
let's get through them, man. Takeover, which, because we'll kind of quickly do this one, because I don't know how many people will be listening between now and Takeover.
You've got
it is now.
window.
It is now Saturday morning as we record this. It's Saturday afternoon. Let's fucking
Saturday morning for me. Saturday afternoon for you.
Yeah. So, but we'll kind of quickly go through it, and then we can look back and, after it happened, if you're listening to this, you can see how right or wrong we were. So, got Ricochet, Velveteen Dream.
Yes.
Yeah.
I expect the match to be a very good match. Ricochet should come out on top, in my opinion, because he's teaching the young kid a lesson. That's what the story should be. And Velveteen Dream should be carried to a great match where everybody's going to come out of this saying Velveteen Dream should be NXT champion, and you're all fucking idiots. So
yeah, right. Yeah. He's not there.
No, nowhere close. You put him in another match with Lars Sullivan, and he's no good. You know what I mean? Like, he's got a great character. His character's super over, but he's nowhere near.
I'm gonna throw you something here. So, as maybe you'll hear on SBL Extra, I was on a real hard Morris Day in the time kick last night, getting real fucked up, just getting fucking blazed out of my head listening to Morris Day. Anyway, I was like, why did they, with Dream, he's a fucking Prince ripoff, not a Morris Day ripoff, but still, he should have a dude with a mirror who fucking walks, you know what I'm saying? Like, he could throw broads in dumpsters, like in fucking Purple Rain.
You know what I would even be down for, dude? Just hold out here, because it's NXT, right? If you want to give Dream a heavy, what better heavy than Keith Lee?
Keith Lee, yeah?
Right, he can be Dream's heavy. It doesn't mean he can't work. He can go and he can work. He can be, anybody wants to go to Dream. Well, guess what, man? Keith's going to come and he's going to fucking kill you.
Well, can he carry a mirror though too for him?
Keith, of course he can.
Like
he can
Morris
even
Day
look
and
at
shit?
it himself. It's not like Keith Lee's an ugly dude.
I would rip that whole spot off, dude. Where like Velveteen Dream's coming out of Full Sail, and some girls come up, and like fucking Keith Lee just picks them up, throws them in a dumpster. Be amazing.
It would be fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ricochet on this too. He should win. It'll probably be a really good match, but yeah, Velveteen Dream, work rate wise, is not there. To me, to be champion, you have to be able to have matches with people who suck shit, like Black will with Sullivan coming up here.
Exactly. What about Undisputed Era and taking on Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch?
That's a really interesting one, but I'm sticking with Undisputed Era here. I think that I just don't see him making Lorcan and Burch tag team champions when they've got the War Raiders, they've got the Mighty.
I will say this:
heavy machinery, Tucky.
I will say this: if you wanted to save the War Machine Undisputed Era match, you could have Oney Lorcan take it off the Undisputed Era, and then War Machine take it off of them, and then meet them up. But at the same time, you could still just prolong the War Machine Undisputed Era match that long.
Yeah, I think that's where we're going. I think you go that way because War Machine are face, Undisputed Era heels, Lorcan and Burch are faces.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, so that's what I'm going. I'm going with the Undisputed Era on this one. But I expect a really good fucking match.
Me too. I'm going with Undisputed
How cool
Era
is it
as
we
well.
saw Lorcan and Burch? Like, remember the first little thing they did together at one point? We were like, oh, those guys should be a tag team.
Yeah.
And then it took forever, but it's actually, here we are. It's finally happened, and they're going for the belts. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it was all because Danny Burch didn't sign a contract yet, right? Or they didn't offer him one. And once they offered him one,
it was all because we said that they should be a tag team.
I know that.
And someone was like, that's a good idea. These guys fucking know what they're talking about. That's why we get all our inside information and ideas from this show.
Yeah, they're all ours.
Except for that ladder open. That was
I'll blame that on Russo.
Ciampa Gargano street fight.
I'm torn. I don't know. I feel maybe Ciampa wins this one.
I mean, there's no real stakes.
Who wins, Travis? Ciampa or Gargano?
Ciampa wins. Gargano and Ciampa wrestle at Brooklyn for the rubber match.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, Ciampa wins.
Yeah, and they wrestle at
That's all I
Brooklyn for
heard.
the rubber match.
Ooh, God, really? Keep going.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I would say probably that's probably what it is.
Ciampa.
Yeah, I'm going with Ciampa too. I think he needs a win. A street fight is a perfect way for him to get a win.
Yeah, with that street fight, you can incorporate Candice LeRae as well because she can get involved because it's a street fight. And maybe something Johnny does, he gets in the way and he ricochets on the LeRae like before. And with him staring and tending on his wife, Tommaso Ciampa blindsides him and gets the win.
There you go. Shayna Baszler defending against Nikki Cross. I think they're going to keep it on Baszler here because maybe they're going to send Cross up to SmackDown with Sanity if that ever happens.
This is my exact thought as well. That Shayna Baszler wins, Nikki Cross goes to SmackDown.
And after that, I imagine we're going to have to get to that Kairi Sane taking it off Baszler. I can't believe they keep it on Baszler this long. She sucks. She fucking sucks.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably right. They probably do go to Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane holds it for a while. The only person that ever holds a credible threat to her is Io Shirai. And boom, you got yourself your takeover. Where's takeover New York? I get New
Brooklyn.
Jersey. No. Whatever it is in WrestleMania.
All right.
I don't know what they're going to call that. Takeover New Jersey.
I don't know. And then I've got Aleister Black retaining over Lars Sullivan in the NXT title match.
Yeah, me too. I'd assume that's how that's going to go. I mean, it's going to be a good match.
Yeah, I mean, I think he is, Black's definitely good enough to be able to bring a good match with Sullivan, but that's what I'm saying. If you put, Dream and Sullivan in a match, it would be awful.
Yes,
right?
it would.
Black is good enough to fucking take care of that kid, so. Good stuff there. NXT TakeOver, that's fucking tonight. That doesn't feel like it's tonight, but it is.
It doesn't. If you're in the GP area, if you're in the GP area, I don't know if you are or not. You could join us at Hangar 19.
Yeah, if you have any, outstanding beefs with Tyler,
you come kick my ass, come spit in my face. I'll even let you touch my bum. Okay.
Oh shit, that's good stuff right there. But what isn't good stuff? Money in the Bank.
Boy, so the kickoff: Bludgeon Brothers, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. I would imagine the Bludgeon Brothers do this in record time.
Yeah, the Bludgeon Brothers retain. What a pile of shit. What a shitty angle, a shitty fucking champion team. It's on the kickoff. There's so much nonsense I can't even start. So I'll just say Bludgeon Brothers in a who gives a fuck match.
Yeah, agreed. Daniel Bryan and Big Cass.
I got Big Cass, dude. I'm going Big Cass.
I'm going to be resilient, and I'm going to go with Daniel Bryan. Even though I do feel this could be a rubber match kind of deal as well.
He beats him twice in a row.
I know. I know.
They should, at this point. If they were smart, I think that they would. They had Bryan beat him again and fucking let it go, dude.
Yep.
Just quit with this guy. Fuck the push that he's on. Bring him way back down the card. Because his matches are shit. He couldn't even have a good match with Bryan. So,
no, I agree. I agree completely.
There you go.
Roman Reigns and Jinder Mahal. Again, I don't give a fuck. Roman Reigns.
Yeah, well, Reigns must pose.
Yeah, I'm gonna breeze through it. Seth Rollins and Elias. Again, I don't give a fuck. Seth Rollins. They're not putting it on Elias. Not a goddamn chance. They can't. No, is this where we're going to fray? Is this where we're going to split up?
Well, we already got Big Cass and Bryan. We're already split up on.
Yeah, but this will cause
Do I really want to? Do I really want to double down? Because they could be thinking about more for Rollins.
I agree. I agree with that.
I'm going Elias, dude. I'm
going to stick with Rollins though.
There you go.
I commend your bravery, Carmella and Asuka. I'm going Carmella with Ellsworth.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of think, why would he? She fucked him over when he left, right?
Yes.
I mean, but then again, I'm like, that's right. This is WWE. They don't give a fuck about anything.
Oh, hey man, and there's guys out there. They get construct And it's like they'll go back after getting emasculated. They will.
Oh yeah, like John Cena.
How about Nia Jackson, Ronda? Or if you haven't guessed yet, have you?
I'm gonna stick with you. I'll go with Carmella.
Okay.
James Ellsworth helps her win.
Nia Jackson, Ronda Rousey.
This is another one, right? This is another one where does Stephanie McMahon get involved?
Yeah.
Does Natty get involved?
It's hard to say. But I feel somebody's getting involved.
I don't know if they're going to go that route, right? If Ronda Rousey wins the belt and Natty wins the fucking Money in the Bank, and then that's the feud.
Yeah, I don't know.
She might be able to actually have some decent matches with Natalya. Although I used to really respect Natalya's in-ring work, and these days, no. No,
not here. I'm going to go with, it's hard to say, Nia Jax.
Somehow Nia Jax wins, though.
Yeah. I would say Steph. That's my thoughts.
That's what I feel like. But then also, so Carmella gets help to retain?
Yeah,
and Nia gets help to retain?
If you space them far enough apart, they might be able to get away with it. Like if you have Nia and Ronda later in the card and Carmella and Asuka earlier. Maybe.
I think we're going to go different. I'm going to go with Ronda Rousey because I don't think that they're smart enough to not do it.
Fair enough.
I don't think they'll be able to help themselves.
Maybe Ronda Rousey by DQ because Steph sends somebody down there to beat her up. And
I'm going Ronda Rousey wins. That's what I'm going with.
Sounds good. I'm going to go with Nia Jax still. Actually, no, I'm going to go Ronda Rousey DQ. That's what I'm going to do.
You son of a bitch. All right. I got enough different from you already. We're good.
AJ Styles, Nakamura.
I'm going Nakamura.
Me too.
And as I said this week on Twitter, a lot of people seem to agree with it. They've pissed around for so long with this angle, and they've driven it into the fucking ground. Now that nobody gives a shit, Nakamura will become champion, and when it doesn't move the needle, Vince will say, "I told you he wouldn't get over," and that's it.
Yeah, I agree.
How the fuck? If they'd have done this back when they should have done it, it would have been a different story. No one cares now. There's even like people who love both these guys, right? And I think they're both great wrestlers. But dude, I don't give a shit. I don't even want to watch this because last time you slapped everybody in the face when you were like, finally people were like, okay, I'm going to invest in that last match that they had. And then with the finish you did, oh, fuck. Everyone was like, I'm done. That's how I felt. I'm done with this. Fuck you.
I agree. I don't think I could say anything that you didn't say. Honestly, it's...
The only thing I would say I'd look forward to, so Nakamura gets the belt, and then if we build to a Brian Nakamura at SummerSlam, that would be the shit.
That would be very nice. I agree. How about women's Money in the Bank? Ember Moon, Charlotte, Naomi, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Natalya, Lana, or Sasha Banks?
Oh, God. I mean, this one could go anyway.
I feel the safe bet is Bliss. I feel the underdog that I think probably could win. Despite
they don't like to give it to
else.
Faces, do they?
No,
I wish I had the stats on that. Historically speaking, faces don't win, do they?
I think it's either going to be Bliss or Lana.
Holy fuck, shut up.
Lana is the Carmella of this match. Carmella won it last year. They're not afraid to put it on the worst woman in the match.
I could see it going. I'm leaning more towards like Charlotte, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to settle my cement pick is going to be Bliss.
All right, I'm going to Charlotte.
Okay.
See, we disagree so much on this because it's all so stupid and
there's no rhyme or reason. There isn't. The men's Money in the Bank: Finn Balor, Braun Strowman, Miz, Rusev, this Big E, Bobby Roode, Kevin Owens, and Samoa Joe.
Fuck. Tough to say, man. I never think these out ahead of time. I like to work it out as we go.
I haven't this one either. I'm going to go Braun Strowman just because I think the logical place to do it is Braun Strowman faces Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. He doesn't blindside him. He just says, "Hey, Brock, I got you at SummerSlam." Wins. Boom.
I heard rumors that he's not going to be on SummerSlam.
I've heard that too. But I mean, who knows? It's either that I would do it or Samoa Joe.
I'm kind of forcing myself into a pick here, right? Because I say that the women's is going to SmackDown. So I feel like I have to pick a men's for Raw. But, man, they don't really have anybody other than Strowman. And for some reason, I don't see Strowman winning.
Now, they have had Kevin Owens, the only guy to not get his comeuppance during this whole build. So